Day 17. I realise I didn't do a video yesterday. That's because yesterday was just a complete disaster and I didn't want to think about it. Correction, was not a complete disaster. I ended up having a piece of cheese that was literally about the size of my thumbnail. Whilst making the sandwiches for my husband and my son. We went off to visit Lincoln University today for prospective university place for him for next year. I always talk with my clients about how important it is to be really curious and to lean in to the times when this happens and all of those uncomfortable feelings that get thrown up. I think I've been talking in my videos about one of the things I've been finding really difficult this time around is that the treatment that I have every 10 weeks, the injections that I have, hasn't kicked in as much. It's kicked in a bit, but not as much as usual. And normally I'm pain-free now, and I'm not. Yesterday, my pain rose quite a bit, and I was on the maximum dose of paracetamol, and still getting pain as it started to wear off after about 3 hours. So I was just really feeling down yesterday, and so actually a piece of cheese that sort of size in the big scheme of things isn't the be all and end all, is it? So I'm not going to beat myself up about that. Instead, what I'm doing is I am, with that attitude of curiosity, I'm thinking through my options. I can continue to try and lean in, which I am finding really difficult. And I think it's because this is still a relatively new diagnosis for me. It's only been, 13 months now, and it's still very much in a state of flux. I thought it was kind of sorted. I thought I got myself into an equilibrium with 6 months back on strong painkillers, 6 weeks rather back on strong painkillers, and 6 weeks with these other injections kicking in to work. And I think that's what's thrown me this time, is that the sort of place of certainty that I got to has been thrown up in the air. And one of the things that I've been, I had a November challenge going, and actually 3 of the ladies, they've done amazingly in it. You know who you are. And they've asked to continue until Christmas because they found it so supportive and such a great experience. And one of the things that we did in that was I got them to look at the 6 human needs. If you Google 6 human needs and Tony Robbins, you'll find out more about it. And one of the things that he talks about is certainty versus uncertainty, and we need both of them in our lives. We need certainty because we need to know that we've got a safe roof over our heads, and that we're financially okay, and that we've got enough food on our plates, that we're not in a lot of pain. And we also need uncertainty, weirdly, because otherwise we just get really bored. If everything is utterly predictable all the time, we get really bored. I have had more than my fair share of uncertainty, and I thought I was getting to a place, particularly around this disease, where I was in a place of a bit more certainty about what my future held, and I'm not, clearly. And so I know that that's what's really thrown me, and that's what's thrown up some really, really uncomfortable thoughts, which I have to lean into. And I'm resisting doing that. So that's something I'm going to practice. I have someone who supports me in my weight loss process, and she has suggested to me that, which was a really, really good idea. She suggested that I spend just 5 minutes focusing on those uncomfortable feelings that this throws up. And then when I'm ready, 10 minutes. And then when I'm ready, 15 minutes. And that gives me then permission to not think about it. And I'm going to try very hard not to, but to not think about it for the rest of the day. And actually, when I thought about it, I did something very similar with my autistic son when he was much younger. We read a book with him and went over and over it, actually, called How Not to Worry. I think that's what it was called. It was a kid's book. And there they talk about having designated worry time. And that's what we tried to put in place with him, that if he started worrying about stuff, we would say, just stop that worry thought, and know that we'll talk about it and you'll have time to think about it, but just parcel that one away. So I'm having to practice what I preach here. And so, Ali, thank you for that. That was really, really good advice, and I needed reminding about that. I'm also having to, and this is why being curious is so important. Instead of just feeling powerless and helpless, my situation isn't the same as when I did this first round and when I was completely pain-free. But who knows what the next round's going to be and the next round's going to be like. And so rather than just throwing my hands up in the air, which I'm very proud that I've not done, and it would have been very easy to do that and to fall back into self-soothing with a bit of food again. I am continuing to have that attitude of curiosity of, okay, it is different this time. What can I do about it? What can I do to take back control? Worst case scenario is I have to go back on the indomethacin again. Okay, not the end of the world. I now know that it causes massive water retention, so don't try not to worry too much about it. I've got to try exploring other measures of pain control, so I am certainly in the process of doing that. I'm going to try and get some acupuncture booked in the new year, and just keep on trying rather than feeling disempowered and helpless and hopeless, which I think I have been feeling these last few weeks of not having enough pain control. I don't feel okay about where I'm at, but I feel like I can try to sort of take some control in leading myself towards a bit more of a place of certainty. At the very least, taking action feels better than inaction, doesn't it? So that's where I'm at the end of day 17. You may be surprised by some of the things I've revealed. Yes, your diet consultant has cheese from time to time.